As we come to know that every kind of solutions we can classify into saturated and unsaturated solutions. In last class, I taught you the definition of unsaturated solution. Can anybody give the definition of unsaturated solution once again? Yes, please. Yes. What is happening? Harish? Dakshri? What is unsaturated solution? Yes, please.
Sir, a solution in which more quantity of solute can be dissolved without rising its temperature.
Yes, very good. A solution in which more quantity of solute can be dissolved. That is what we used to call as. So whatever the solution I have taken, so I can dissolve more solute without rising what? Without rising what? Without rising temperature is only called as unsaturated solution. Is it yes or no? Now, if we take example, as I told you, aqueous solution of salt. What is that? Example, aqueous solution of salt. What do you mean by aqueous solution of salt? It is a salt solution. Yes or no? Mr. Hari, Reddy, what is happening? So if we'll take aqueous solution of salt, so as I told you, at 20 degrees Celsius, how much salt can dissolve in 100 ml of water? Anybody can tell? Sodium chloride, maximum. So at 20 degrees Celsius, maximum 36 grams of sodium chloride can dissolve. How much? 36 grams of? 36 grams of sodium chloride can dissolve for how many ml of water? For 100 ml of water, or we can say 100 grams of water. 100 grams of water. Is it okay? Because with actually 1 ml is equals to 1 gram in water case. Sorry, actually 1 cubic centimeter will say. So let it be, we'll take it. So basically we'll consider for 100 grams of water. How much water? 100 grams of water. Now, I want to prove that. Now see, if it is a saturated solution, what is the definition of saturated solution? Everybody tell me. Can dissolve more solute without rising temperature is called as such unsaturated solution. Yes or no? What is happening? If not interested, leave from the class, no issues. So without rising temperature, if more solute, I am adding, keep on adding, then if it is keep on dissolving, then that is only called as unsaturated solution. So example, if we'll take this aqueous solution of salt, more salt can be dissolved without rising its temperature, then that salt solution we used to call as unsaturated salt solution. Now, as I told you, at 20 degrees Celsius, maximum how much salt can dissolve, Mitakshri, in 100 grams of water? 36 grams. Now, if I want to take, suppose I want to dissolve continuously without rising temperature, all of you observe very carefully. Now, initially, is it more solute must be present inside the solution or less solute must be present? That is what my question. Yesterday also I ended there only. So you want to answer me. So in unsaturated solution, at the beginning stage, it contains lesser amount of solute or more amount of solute. That is what I want. Anybody? Yes, please. Now, I will answer you very carefully. For example, let us go to the real life. Mr. Kaushik, if not interested, leave. If not responding, I'm saying everybody, no excuse. Arun Kailas, you also. I don't want any problem. Now, for example, see, you are very, very hungry. You are very, very hungry. You can eat maximum 1 kg rice. Now, but I provided only 50 grams of rice. 50 grams of rice. Now, you are in unsaturated or saturated state. Unsaturated or saturated. Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied?
No, sir.
Your stomach will fill with 50 grams of rice. You can eat what maximum? What you can eat?
1 kg.
Yes, 1 kg. But what you have ate now till now? 50 grams of rice only. So that next I will add 50 grams. 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 Like that I'm keep on adding. This 50 grams only what we used to call solute. So that your solute amount is keep on increasing or not without rising temperature. Is it yes or no? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now that is only coming to the solution also I'm saying. Like how you are, like when you are hungry, how your food is keep on increases. The amount of food which you are consuming is keep on increases. The same way, if you are coming to the unsaturated solution, please respond. What is the amount of solute? Is it less or more than the maximum amount? Yes, please.
Sir, less.
Less. Understand Mitakshri now? Kaushik? Ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Remember,
Yes, sir.
an unsaturated solution contains lesser amount of solute. Please write. An unsaturated solution contains lesser amount of solute than the maximum amount of solute than the maximum amount of solute which can be dissolved in it at what temperature? At the temperature, at a fixed temperature. Do you understand, Mitakshri? Neha? That is what it is. So example if we'll take. So at 20 degrees Celsius, 100 grams of water can dissolve maximum how much amount of salt? 36 grams.
36.
But I have been added only 1 gram maybe. So now, if I keep on adding 1 gram plus 1 gram plus 1 gram plus 1 gram plus 1 gram, is it keep on solute is increasing or not? Is it keep on increasing or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So that is why it is called as unsaturated solution. So actually it can dissolve 36 grams, but the amount of solute is less than 36 grams. So that is why it is called as saturated or unsaturated. Everybody, unsaturated solution. Understand? So unsaturated solution always contains less amount of solute than the maximum amount of solute which can be dissolved in that at that particular temperature. Are you clear? Yes, Harish?
Yes, sir.
That is. So now this is what is saturated solution, unsaturated solution. Now let us take saturated solution so that you can understand very carefully. Now write a solution, saturated solution. Now can I say the first example so that you can understand very easily? Yes, ready? Kaushik, Harish.
Yes, sir.
Now, for example, you might be faced, Mitakshri, observe very carefully. When you are eating time, now your mother will ask you to eat little bit more. Have you noticed it? For example, when you are eating normal rice, sambar rice, curd rice, fruits, everything finished. Have you noticed it? Most of us, at last, we will eat very happily from the beginning to last, but when our mother will say to eat at last moment, we can say around 10 rice particles, around 5 to 10 or hardly 10 to 15 rice particles, we will feel it is extra, so that we will leave it in the plate itself. Have you noticed it? How
Yes,
many
sir.
tell that? You will eat
Yes, sir.
fully. You will eat more, and your mother also will scold you. You will eat everything, but last you will say it is not going inside. Like that, people will say. Yes or no? Have you all experienced that? Everybody will feel that. We people will eat more and more, but last we people just we can say it is extra for me. I cannot eat it. Is it right or not? Please respond, guys. Yes.
Sir.
Means in the sense of what? For example, you can eat maximum 1 kg rice. You cannot eat even 1 kg 10 grams also extra. So that 1 kg rice you already ate. So now I have added plus 10 grams to you. Extra 10 grams I have given. Now, is it possible to eat it? Or you people will left it? What you people will do?
Sir, left it.
We will leave it, sir.
Left it. Is it yes or no? So now the same thing that is only called as we used to call saturated solution. Now you tell me, saturated solution, is it possible to dissolve the solute more further? Is it possible to dissolve the solute more further? Mitakshri? Hari? Yes, please. Is it possible to more further? That is what I am asking.
No, sir. After
No.
maximum hour, it will.
Already maximum it is reached. Understand, girls, boys, everybody. Already it is reached maximum. So, for example, if we'll take salt solution at 30 degrees Celsius, at 20 degrees Celsius, maximum how much it can dissolve? At 20 degrees Celsius, maximum how much it can dissolve? 36 grams of salt it can dissolve. Now, already how much dissolved? 36 grams over. Now, if I'll add further, what will happen? No more dissolution. It will go and it will settle down. Is it yes or no? Ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what we used to call as saturation. Purima, everyone. So that is why you can say, whenever somebody will reach the goal, we can say, I reach to my saturated point. Have you heard it? Means they already reached maximum, so that further it is not necessary for them to reach. Is it okay, everybody? Yes.
Yes, sir.
That is what. Write the definition of saturated solution. How many of you understand saturated now? No more solute. Already dissolved maximum. Right. A solution in which in which no more solute can be dissolved at the temperature. Can be dissolved at that temperature. Suppose if temperature increases or decreases, will varies or not? Harish, Reddy? If temperature varies, is it will varies or not? Mitakshri?
Yes, sir.
It will varies. That is why I am saying always at the temperature. Be remember, at the temperature is called a saturated solution. Is called saturated solution. Is it okay, guys? Have you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, for example, if you take aqueous salt solution, aqueous, as I told you. So, example, aqueous salt solution. If you take, so if no more solute is dissolved, if no more solute is dissolved, then it is called as what? Saturated or unsaturated? Saturated or unsaturated? Saturated. That's all. Is it okay? Understand, Ra? So maximum how much it can dissolve? Aqueous salt solution, 36 grams of salt for how much temperature?
20 degrees Celsius.
20 degrees Celsius. And how many grams of water? 36 grams of salt at 20 degrees Celsius. At how many amount of water? For 100 grams of water. How much amount of water? 100 grams of
100.
water. Same way, you take one more chemical. Potassium nitrate. What is the formula? Potassium nitrate. Anybody? Potassium nitrate. KNO3. Enna KNO3. Sodium, salt is sodium chloride, NaCl. Potassium nitrate, KNO3. You know that? Potassium nitrate can only dissolve 32 grams of sodium potassium nitrate at 20 degrees Celsius for how many ml of water? For how many grams of water? 100 grams of water. Purima? Yes, please.
Yes.
That is what. So, is it possible to dissolve more at the temperature? Is it
No, sir.
possible to dissolve more at the temperature?
No, sir.
temperature, no more solute will dissolve. That is only we used to call as what? We used to
Saturated solution.
saturated solution. Understand, Mitakshri, Neha? Respond, Kaushik.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what. So unsaturated means less solute is present. Saturated means already reached to the maximum point at the temperature, so that no more further solution will be dissolved. Is it okay? Now this is what at a fixed temperature. I hope everybody understand. So keeping the temperature constant, always temperature must be constant at a given temperature. Please remember, temperature constant. Now, as I asked you, temperature varies, maybe increases or decreases. So, is it amount of solute dissolving will changes or not? That is what my question.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So that is what, how it will changes and how much it will changes. Let us discuss now. So please, all of you right now, the next concept which we are going to say is effect of heating and cooling on a saturated solution. Effect of heating and cooling, either heating or cooling on a saturated solution. Saturated means already maximum solute or minimum solute?
Maximum solute.
Maximum solute. Understand,
Maximum
Mr. Reddy? Gokul, that is what it is. Now, observe very carefully what will happen. So, if a solution is saturated, it is only at a particular temperature. So, if I increase the temperature, that is what, if a saturated solution at a particular temperature is heated to a higher temperature, then saturated solution can dissolve more salt or maybe less than that, so that it will turns into saturated into what? It will turn saturated into what? Unsaturated. It will turns into what? If you heat it, saturated will turns into what, guys? If you heat, saturated, unsaturated. Please remember, because the solubility means amount of solute can dissolve in a solution can increases on heating, so that more of solute can be dissolved on rising the temperature of the solution. Is it okay, everybody? Yes, please. All of you understanding? So that is what you have to remember. So same way, remember the solubility of a solute in a solution cannot be increased indefinitely on rising the temperature of the solution, because again, for example, I'm saying I increase the temperature from 20 degrees to 30 degrees, so that now salt may increases 36 degree to, example, may I am saying 36 grams to maybe it increases to 45 grams. How much grams? 45 grams of salt. Now, once the temperature reaches to the maximum 30, so that at 30 degrees maximum, how much we can dissolve? Maximum, how much we can dissolve? 45 grams. Now, if I increase the temperature further, 30 become 40, 40 become 50, 50 become 60 degrees. So that salt amount also will be increases or decreases?
Increases.
Understand, temperature keep on rising, then the amount of solute dissolving also increases, but it is not indefinitely on rising the temperature of the solution. Do you understand, everyone? So at some extent it will increase. So later again it will attain what? Saturated state. Do you understand, Ra? Mitakshri? Gokul? That is what we used to say. If you will cool it, that is what? If you will heating, what is happening? Solubility increasing or decreasing? Mr. Harish, Reddy, Kaushik? If I am heating, amount of solute, solubility we can say. So solute dissolving is increasing. You understanding? That is only we used to say solubility. Solubility of solute is increasing. Now, if you will cooling, then what will happen? Let us see that. Now, for example, let us take at 20 degrees Celsius, maximum how much amount of salt can dissolve? Everybody should say 36 grams of salt. is present in how much amount of water? 100 grams of water. Do you understand it? Now, I reduced the temperature cooling from 20 degrees to 10 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees to how much temperature? 20 degrees to 10 degrees temperature. Understand, Hari? Now, 36 grams for 20 degrees. Now, if the temperature falls, so that the amount of salt is present inside the salt solution will decrease or increases?
Decreases.
Decrease.
Decreases.
Dissolving state. Dissolving state decreases, so that the remaining salt will, what will happen? The salt will form the crystal forms. It will be condensed back. Purima, Mitakshri, what I'm saying? It will form
Yes, sir.
solid crystals. Do you understanding? Solid crystals. Because see, at 20 degrees Celsius, what amount of salt is present inside the solution? Inside the solution, how much amount of salt is present? 36 grams. Correct or not? Now, if the temperature falls, 10 degrees Celsius decreases, so that maybe, for example, 18 grams of salt in solution state. Understand, ready? Hari? 18 grams of salt in solution state, but remaining 18 grams, where it will go? Remaining 18 grams, it will be condensed back. Do you understand, everyone? So it will form crystal salt. Are you understanding or not? At the bottom of the container. Neha? It will form a crystals at the bottom of the container. Is it okay, guys? Arun, Kailash, Gokul, Kaushik?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is what I want to say. So, if you cooled the lower temperature from a particular temperature, if you cool, then some of dissolved solute, it will separate out in the form of solid crystals. Are you understand, everyone? So that is why the temperature decreases, then solubility of a solute will decrease or increases? Solubility of a solute will decrease or increases? Solubility, I am asking. Solubility of a solute will decreases. Is it okay, everyone? Yes, please. So on
Yes, sir.
rising the temperature, solubility increases. On decreasing the temperature, the solubility will decreases. Is it yes or no? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So please write the two statements. Right. If a saturated solution at a particular temperature, if a saturated solution at a particular temperature is heated to a higher temperature, so solubility increases or decreases? Higher temperature,
Increases.
it's become, temperature, it's become unsaturated. So unsaturated means more solute will dissolve or less solute will dissolve, guys? More solute or less solute?
Less solute.
More solute will further dissolve. Yes or no, Hari? Already having less solute, but if we'll add more can dissolve. Yes or no? Yes, that is what, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the solubility of a solute, because here you can write, it will turns into unsaturated because the solubility. What do you mean by solubility? Amount of solute dissolved. Understanding? Amount of solute dissolved. We'll study now. Because the solubility of solute increases, the solubility of solute increases on heating, and more solute can be dissolved, and more solute can be dissolved on rising the temperature. on rising the temperature of the solution. Is it okay, everyone? Neha, respond. Harish, Arun Kailash, that is what it is. So, if we'll
Yes,
heat
sir.
I will write the diagrams way. Remember, saturated solution. What is that? Saturated solution. If you're what you have to do? Heating or cooling? Heating. So it will turns into what? Unsaturated. Purima, everybody, unsaturated solution so that more solute can dissolve. Is it okay? Yes, please. All of you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, next one on cooling. This is the effect on heating. Now, effect on cooling we'll discuss. So, if we'll cooling, what will happen? Everybody, solubility will decrease or increases? Solubility decreases. So, already soluble solute will condense back until form a solid crystals. Okay. So, that is what you have to remember. Right. If a saturated solution available at a particular temperature, if a saturated solution available at particular temperature, if a saturated solution available at a particular temperature is cooled to a lower temperature, lower temperature, so that what will happen, guys? Saturated state will decrease, it will becomes less solubility or more solubility?
Less
Then
solubility.
less solubility. That is what? Lower temperature. Then some of its dissolved solute, then some of its dissolved solute, what will form, Metakshri? Some of its dissolved solute, it will form
Solid crystal.
will
Scarlet.
it out in the form of solute, will separate out in the form of solid crystals, in the form of solid crystals. Is it okay, everybody? What is the reason behind? Because, tell me, you people should tell me, because what is the reason behind? The solubility of a solute in the solution, because the solubility of a solute in solution decreases on cooling. Decreases on what? Decreases on cooling. That is what it is. Is it okay, everybody? Yes, please. All of you?
Yes.
Nobody is
Yes,
answering.
sir.
Yes, that is what it is. Any doubt? Anybody can ask. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
That is what. So this is how what is solubility and what is saturated and what is unsaturated. How many of you understand clearly how to make what is the effect of heating and what is the effect of cooling? Are you clear, Amma? So now draw the
Yes,
diagram.
sir.
So we have to take now saturated solution. So it will be cooling effect. So what will happen? Some of the salt will be condensed back. That is what it will form a solid crystals. Remaining will be in the form of liquid state or aqueous state. That is what. So solid crystals will form. Are you clear? Any doubt? On cooling. Sarya?
Yes, sir.
Yes, everyone. Make it. This is what it is. So this is what saturated or unsaturated solution. Any doubt? Anyone can ask me, please. Are you clear, guys? Now, as I told you, I'm keep on saying solubility, solubility, solubility. Let us discuss what is this solubility and we'll make it. Shall we make it, guys? Yes, please. Solubility.
Yes, sir.
No. So observe very carefully. Solubility, write it. Solubility, solubility, solubility. 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 So what do you mean by solubility? You already knows that. What do you mean by solubility? Let me see. Who will see? Yes.
The amount of solute dissolved, sir.
Maximum amount at a given temperature. All of you should remember. At a given temperature, for how much amount of solution? How much amount of solvent? How much amount of solvent, Mitakshri? Always you have to
100
take how
grams,
much
sir.
amount of solvent? You have to take
100 grams.
100 grams of solvent. Understanding? At a specified temperature is known as solubility of that solute in that given solvent. Please write solubility. So for example, at 20 degrees Celsius, what is the amount of salt can dissolve in 100 grams of water? What is the salt can dissolve?
36 grams.
6 grams. So that is what the solubility of salt. That's all. Prema. Yes, please. All of you.
Yes, sir.
Right. The maximum amount of solute. The maximum amount of solute. The maximum amount of solute which can be dissolved in. Which can be dissolved in how many grams of solvent, Mr. Gokul, Arun Kailash, Kaushik? 100 grams of solvent. Understand? 100 grams of solvent at a specified temperature. Temperature is very important. At a specified temperature. Why temperature is important? Anybody can answer?
So when
Because
temperature rises, solubility also increases, sir.
increases. Some temperature decreases, solubility will decreases. Prima, at a temperature is known as the solubility of the solute is known as the solubility of solute in that solvent. In that solvent. Is it okay, everyone? Please respond. In that solvent at the temperature. Is it okay, Hari? Reddy? No response from Reddy. Okay, Mitakshri? Yes? Understand, Amma? So solubility is also important. And solvent type also important or not? Solvent type also important or not? Everyone? Yes or no? We have so many solvents. What is the solvents you people know? Example, tell me. What is the solvents you know? Water, alcohol, ethane. Next, what is that? So many I told you. Carbon disulfide. Yes or no? Nobody will answer. Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So based upon the solvent, the amount of solute made varies. That is also very important. Sarya. Okay, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is you have to remember it. Please remember all of you. Write it. Soluble. So let me take solute. Substance and solubility in water. Example I'm taking. So solvent to solvent will varies or not? Kaushik. Solvent to solvent will varies or not? Kaushik. Everyone. Arun. Solvent to solvent, the amount of solute will varies. Is it okay, Purima? So let me take now substance. So substance, this is only used to called as what? Solute. Next one, solubility in water. Solubility in water. So at what temperature will take, Mr. Reddy? 20 degrees Celsius. What temperature will take? At 20 degrees Celsius. So who is the solvent here? Who is the solvent here? Water. So if I'll take another solvent, another percentage. Is it okay, ready? That is what? So first compound, let me take first compound, copper sulfate. What is that? Everybody. Copper
Copper
sulfate.
Copper sulfate.
So how many grams of water? Solvent. How many grams of water? 100 grams of water. So we can dissolve maximum 21 grams of copper sulfate. Maximum how much? 21 grams. Next, potassium nitrate. Potassium nitrate. I already taught you potassium nitrate. Let me see who will say. Potassium nitrate. 32 grams.
sir.
32 grams maximum. Next, potassium chloride. Potassium chloride. You know that 34 grams. How many grams? Maximum 34 grams. But same thing will dissolve in alcohol. Will varies or not? That is what my question. Varies or not? Varies. Okay.
Sure.
Next, sodium chloride. Sodium chloride evla? We already know. 36 grams. Next, ammonium chloride. 37 grams. Ammonium chloride. Evla? 37 grams. Now, sugar. Sugar, how much, Mitakshri? I already taught you sugar. Sugar. 204 grams. How much? 204 grams. Understand? Ready? Hurry.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is what it is. So, this is what. But if I'll change the solvent, is it will varies or not? That is what my question. Please respond. If I change the solvent, is it varies or not? Mitakshri, Neha, will varies always. Remember, okay? So please note down these values, examples also, and we'll solve one numerical also now. So all of you write it. This is what it is. Any doubt? So sugar only can dissolve highest at 100 ml of water. Sorry, 100 grams of water. That is what 204 grams it is. So too much high. So another one, if we'll take alcohol, carbon disulfide, understand ethane, in that differently